Consumer surplus. Kia ora, this is Ms McIntosh and I'm going to try and explain to you what the consumer surplus is, and hopefully this will help you to understand allocative efficiency. So in front of me I have a market model for just any random product, let's say potatoes, and just as a reminder as we continue into this is called a market model. So it's the market supply and the market demand, which means this is not just one person's demand or supply, like one firm's supply or one person's demand. It's the market, so all the potential consumers for this good currently buying it or potentially wanting to buy it, and all the firms that are able to supply the good. So we're going to have a look at consumer surplus, and what we want to do is we'll look at the market demand curve in a little bit more detail. So the first thing that I would encourage you to remember is that demand equals marginal utility. Okay, so that means that the demand curve represents the satisfaction that all the consumers get from consuming this good, potatoes for example, and it represents the price that they think this good is like worth. So if they're going to consume a potato, the price that they're prepared to pay reflects the value they place on it. So in a market situation, when you throw in the supply curve, P and Q represent the price that this product will be sold for, and Q represents how much of this unit will be sold. So for the consumers, how many of them will buy it and how much they buy. When we talk about consumer surplus, in this market, if the price is P and Q, then P times Q equals consumer spending, not to be confused with consumer surplus. So I'll just write this here, P times Q, this equals spending. Okay, so this is how much consumers have spent on the product when the price is P and the quantity sold, and P times Q equals spending. Sorry, it takes a while to do this with my mouse, so I don't have a fancy pen on me right now. Okay, and that's important because they pay P times Q, but what about up here? And so the question I have for you is that the price on the market currently is P, but is that the price that all the consumers in the market who bought the product, right, and that will be everyone from here to here, is that what they would have been prepared to pay? Because marginal utility is demand and it also equals the price. Okay, and people should only pay what they think the product is worth. So people should pay P equals MU. You don't necessarily need to know this, but I feel like it kind of reinforces some things that we learned earlier. Okay, so if we kind of break down the line and just think about that representing lots of different consumers, so along this curve equals different consumers in the market and their different willingness to pay. Right? I like to refer to this expression of willingness to pay. Say this person up here, to buy the product, they would have been prepared to pay a very expensive price. You know, like heaps, like maybe like it's a potato and they really like the potatoes, they're Irish, so they would have been prepared to pay $10 for the potato, whereas the price that's in the market is actually only like $1. Okay, and then you have like other people who really like the potatoes, but they don't like it as much as the first, and so the price that they're prepared to pay is less than theirs, but it's still way higher than the market price. And this continues. You keep on having consumers in this market who do value the product, and they value the product at a price that's way higher than what the product ends up getting sold for. And so the market demand curve can be broken down as such into different consumers and their willingness to pay. So I'm just going to put here oh, well, that's way too much. Let's cut that out and let's start again. Willingness, W, T, pay. What are you willing to pay to have this product? Okay, so we keep on going down until we get to the market price, which is here. Okay, and when we get to P, okay, this price here, and this is the quantity that is consumed by everyone in the market, this group of consumers, or it could be like one individual, it depends how big the market is, they've paid exactly what they think it's worth. For them, this product is worth exactly P. okay, because their marginal utility is equal to it. But everybody else above this, they have a higher willingness to pay because their marginal utility for the product is higher. So therefore we say that they have gained a surplus. The difference between what they are willing to pay, so up here, here, is greater than the price they actually paid. So therefore they have a surplus, and we call this consumer surplus. Another way of thinking it is the difference between what you paid for the product and what you value at it, right? The difference between spending on the product and the value or benefit gained from consuming the product. Benefit gained is higher than the actual spending on it, so that's a surplus, and we call it consumer surplus. So this may not answer all your questions, but I hope that has been moderately helpful and will help you in your journey to understand allocative efficiency. Ka kite for now.